There was never a year in NFL history when law enforcement was as busy as it was in 2006. At least 71 NFL players were arrested or cited for various alleged offenses. The Cincinnati Bengals alone saw 10 arrests for intoxicated driving, and 20 players were arrested overall. As a result of unpaid child support, former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown was taken into custody in Florida, according to the Broward County Sheriff's Department. According to court records, the warrant was released for arrest last week. It claims that Brown broke his commitment to pay child support to Wiltress Jackson, the mother of his oldest daughter. Brown posted a $15,000 bond and was freed, according to the police. Brown, who most recently played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, allegedly owed more than $30,000 in child support, according to Jackson. Due to accusations of domestic abuse, Florida police filed an arrest warrant last year. The accusations were withdrawn. Since the Buccaneers released him in January 2022 after he tore off his jersey and stormed off the field during a game against the New York Jets, he has not participated in an NFL game. He was suspended for 3 games in 2021 while he was a player for the Buccaneers for fabricating his COVID-19 immunization record. Brown, a free agent at the time, received an 8-game suspension from the NFL in 2020 after repeatedly breaking the league's personal conduct policy. Following an altercation with a moving truck driver, he was charged with criminal mischief, burglary, and assault, and burglary of an unoccupied conveyance. After serving 2 years on probation, he entered a plea of not guilty. Additionally, in a lawsuit filed in 2019, Brown's former trainer accused him of sexual assault. He resolved the litigation after refuting the accusation. According to Ian Rappaport and Clayton Holloway of NFL Network, former cornerback Damon Arnett of the Las Vegas Raiders, Miami Dolphins, and Kansas City Chiefs was arrested on January 6 in Richardson, Texas, and charged with possession of less than 1 gram of meth and unlawful carrying of a pistol. In the 2019 NFL Draft, the Raiders selected Arnett, 27, with the 19th overall choice. Despite playing in only 13 games over the course of 2 seasons, he recorded 29 tackles and 3 passes defense for the team. After a video showing him brandishing multiple guns and seemingly threatening the life of someone else went viral, the Raiders decided to release him in November 2021. At that time, nevertheless, he was never accused of any crimes. It is also said that in his first season, he totaled 4 rented cars and crashes. He was added by the Dolphins to their practice squad for the 2021 season. After that, in January 2022, the Chiefs signed him to a reserve or future contract. However, he was released a little over a week later on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon and carrying in a hidden firearm following his arrest in Las Vegas. In the end, he entered a guilty plea to the reduced misdemeanor of charges of assault and drawing a deadly weapon. In August 2023, he was given a $2,000 fine along with 50 hours of community service. During Arnett's sentencing, District Judge Ronald Israel additionally instructed her to abstain from all firearms, stressing that no guns means no guns. An NFL axiom holds that you can't fairly evaluate a team's draft class until you've had at least 3 years to think things through. There are never any exceptions. The 2020 class of the Las Vegas Raiders is the most recent. It's ready for some heavy criticism. We can tell you that much already. We know this isn't a stretch, as the team's 2 first-round selections from that year, Henry Ruggs, 3, and Damon Arnett, were released. It might even rank among the greatest draft missteps of the previous 10 or more years. In addition to a firearms misdemeanor charge, Ruggs, the 12th overall pick in the 2020 draft, was charged with 4 felonies for driving while intoxicated and causing death. After the death of a 23-year-old lady and her dog last week, he was freed. Arnett, a surprising selection by the Raiders at number 19 overall, became unemployed along with Ruggs when some unsettling footage of the cornerback purportedly menacing another guy while carrying firearms appeared on social media. A worse situation for general manager Mike Mayock's future is difficult to conceive of. Neither player may ever play in the NFL again, although Arnett may be given another opportunity in another league. Nevertheless, they've already taken a big loss on that selection because he'll never be a Raider again. Now that we have seen the benefit of hindsight and can clearly see the bottom line of the eye chart, it feels like piling on Mayock and the Raiders scouts. But it's important to remember that in the immediate wake of the 2020 draft, questions were raised about both first-round picks and other choices the team had made that year, particularly the Arnett selection. Several of our concerns over the Raiders' selections at the time proved to be rather accurate. In our 2020 NFL draft rankings, we addressed some of those worries with Arnett. Nevertheless, in our pre-draft scouting report, we highlighted some of the doubts NFL scouts had regarding his character. Speaking with Ohio State insiders, we learned about episodes of immaturity and concerns about his off-field concentration. Arnett had a good following among OSU employees. There were plenty of supporters for him. They talked about how much he matured over the course of his 5 years, particularly in his last campaign when he almost declared for the 2019 draft. They noted that staying was really important for his personal development, particularly because it allowed him to finish his undergraduate degree. Not every scout was persuaded. With that in mind, along with some inconsistent performance that is sometimes attributed to mental errors and health issues, Arnett did not appear to be a lock for a first-round selection. A lot of scouts projected that he would go somewhere between the 40th and 80th rounds on day 2. Furthermore, scouts praised Ruggs' football mentality, citing instances in which he enthusiastically tackled his own special team assignments and chased down a Tennessee DB 60 yards downfield following an interception. His speed seemed to have a multiplicity of effects on games. It had the vibe of an old-school Raiders pick, the kind that would make Al Davis grin from above. Maybe this generation's Cliff Branch. If Ruggs had any character issues, we hadn't been informed about them. We placed him third in that class among receivers, behind only Ruggs' Bama colleague Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb. Although we liked others, we were fine with the choice. The fact that the others who were picked behind them, at the exact same positions, no less, have outperformed them on the field and avoided controversy off it also doesn't help the failing Pierce image. Justin Jefferson, our 4th-ranked receiver, was selected with the 22nd overall pick. Along with Lamb with the Cowboys, he has become a star with the Vikings. Similarly, Jalen Johnson of the Bears and Trevin Diggs of the Cowboys, the 2 other corners selected after Arnett, have both proven to be significantly more reliable on the field. On January 6th, Arnett was taken into custody in Richardson, Texas, and charged with illegal firearm possession and possessing less than 1 gram of meth. We then reminded everyone that Arnett, a native of Dallas who was selected by the Raiders with the 19th overall choice in the draft out of Ohio State, has a long history of legal issues, the most recent of which was a fabrication alleging he was getting ready to sign a deal with the Dallas Cowboys, his home team. The lawyer's statement read, "Our client was not able to give law enforcement his prescription for a legitimate drug at the time of his stop. Mr. Arnett's inability to demonstrate that the drug was prescribed served as the basis for the arrest. Before the district attorney's office filed charges, the lawyer said that they were collaborating with local law enforcement to rectify this matter. That's all very nice. To be fair to the lawyers and Arnett's viewpoint, however, we are unable to pinpoint precisely which portion of the narrative is simply incorrect. As his attorneys admit, Arnett was detained. It was not possible for him to prove that the meth was prescribed. Plus, he had a gun with him. Arnett and his lawyers are going to have a difficult time here, to be honest, because the falsehood he told about the Cowboys pales in comparison to the events of 2020, when he was allegedly brandishing a gun and threatening people with death, or the 2022 incident in which a grand jury indicted him on charges of assault with a deadly weapon and firearm-related offenses after he allegedly pointed a gun at a valet, or the 2022 string of events that saw him pulled over twice in a short period of time after discovering that his driver's license had been suspended. That's all for today. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Also, express your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. Until then, bye. Also, spend some time watching other videos on the channel.